people are sending me my face on things.
Oh,
Shout out Cavell for the merch.
Be sure to get your VeVe, Ecomi, and OMI merch at CavellAnderson.com. Our primary line will always be available, while our limited edition section will only ever have 100 items total and will never be sold again. Get it while supplies last. Yo, what is going on, y'all? I'm Cavell Anderson, and we are back with another VeVe and Ecomi video, man. And this one, we are going to be talking about a very, very interesting and a very important topic because thanks to the Recur, all the Recur talk going on, we're hearing some interesting arguments like, yo, what if VeVe is MySpace and Recur is Facebook, and just things like this that shows people aren't really educated on the VeVe platform, or even Recur for that matter, to be fair. So yeah, we're going to be jumping into it, diving into why that argument just makes no sense. And I understand that a lot of people are always worried, oh, you're giving them publicity and things like that. Bro, listen, it does not matter. It does not matter in the slightest. Everybody in the VeVe community can invest in Recur, and it will not make a difference, because the fact of the matter is you have to have a vision. You have to be delivering something that's going to last and pass the test of time. Like this thrown together project with a bunch of big names is not impressive to me, because it just means that if you're actually impressed by those names, you don't realize the names that's tied to VeVe. Like the people that even Recur getting the licenses that they have, like these licenses are tied to Alfred Kahn, the Alfred Kahn that's working with VeVe. So if Alfred Kahn didn't care less about giving these licenses to Recur, and he's talking about how big VeVe is going to be, how it's going to be like what Walmart, all his other comparisons, they're talking about Amazon and things like this. It's a reason that nobody on Team VeVe is actually worried. And let's touch on this MySpace and Facebook thing here. So when we talk about MySpace, they didn't actually do anything that was too revolutionary. Yeah, it was one of the first social media platforms, but what does that actually mean? How significant is that? Because when we talk about NFTs, when we compare it to the NFT space and what VeVe is doing, this is stuff that can genuinely be written in history books. Like, this is stuff that generations from now could be taught in schools everywhere, where they're explaining world history and how the world has become what it is. This is literally one of those topics. This is going to be the first time in history that the world is linked the way that it is. You know how the stock market is separate from the other parts of the world and things like that? Like, literally, cryptocurrency, everything is linking. This is a movement right now that the entire world is involved in, and NFTs are going to do even more. It's going to be even more linked. It's going to be just as linked. So that being said, you have to really understand what NFTs are. I know if you're in like 30, 40 NFT projects, you just dive in, you invest, you're just trying to get quick flips and stuff like that, you might not actually know the true significance of an NFT and what it's actually going to do to the world. But the fact of the matter is NFTs are going to change your life and the life of everyone you know forever. It's not just some fad that's going to go away like some people like to preach and try to pretend that it's going to be. If anytime you have to buy a car, NFTs are involved. If any times you try to go out to an event, NFTs are involved. If any times you try to shop in a store, NFTs are involved. Anytime you try to get a car, a house, if anytime you try to get a job, if anytime you try to do anything in life, an NFT is involved. This is how big this technology is for humanity. This is the extent that the technology will change our lives. Literally, every aspect of life that we treasure right now can be impacted by the NFT space and NFTs. This is how big this technology is. So the fact that this is technology that could be written about in history books to explain how the world gets to where it's at. Because we live in a world right now where everybody goes outside and stuff. We go around, we actually do things. In the future, we could be living in a Metaverse world because we actually have ownership over all these digital things. So you have a lot of the people like Kevin O'Leary. He's on the NFT wave, but he's more of a fan of the real life utility, like with watch ownership and stuff like that, being able to prove real world things. But he's an older guy, so that makes sense. I'm more of ever since I've been born, I've been playing stuff like Call of Duty. I've been playing Fortnite. I've been living in digital worlds anyway. So I understand the significance and the impact of this and how this could literally change the world forever, metaverses. And this technology allows metaverses to thrive. And then the fact that there could potentially be more money, well, there's going to be more money in metaverse jobs. Like, it's going to be more money to be made in metaverses than there's actually going to be in the physical world. Because in metaverses, what's going to be bringing the money into a metaverse ecosystem is every single country on the planet. When you're working at McDonald's, what's bringing that money in is the foot traffic and the people walking around your area, your neighborhood. That's how much money is there. It's just only the people in your neighborhood. So imagine going from being able to only make the amount of money as the people the clients and stuff you can bring in, or the people that's around and stuff like that. And now you have the money of the entire world at your disposal. That's the difference between the type of income that metaverses can provide and the type of income that we're seeing right now. So this is very significant. The point being, this is a very, very significant thing. And MySpace is not even has never done anything close to what VeVe has actually done. So with a technology this revolutionary, with a technology doing this to the world, VeVe is the very first company in history to bring the United States government onto the blockchain. The United States government. Now, we can argue about anything else being in history books, but something that has impacted the United States government and that will impact the United States the way that NFTs have. And VeVe is what brought the United States government into this space. The significance of that alone is insane. Then you have Disney. VeVe brought Disney into the blockchain. DC. VeVe brought DC into the blockchain. If we just literally go down the list of all these brands and that VeVe has brought to the blockchain, Cartoon Network, are like all of our history, all of our childhoods, like the stuff that we care most about, like the stuff that really we used to watch it for entertainment and help actually kind of shape us in some ways. Like, this is the stuff that VeVe was the first to bring to the blockchain. That is massive. And MySpace, while MySpace was a great invention, like the social media aspect, while they had some form of a vision and things like that, it's a completely different comparison. It can't be compared at all because they never did anything. Actually, the fact of the matter is, you can argue how many companies in the history of the world has done something as significant as VeVe is doing right now. But this is an argument that can't be made right now because we aren't in the world that we are going to be in. Right now, it's speculation that the world is going to be so heavily dependent on NFTs. But at the point where NFTs are dominant, you need to buy a house with NFTs, you need to buy a car with NFTs, you need to in all your tickets, groceries, and things like that. Everything is done utilizing NFTs. At the point where the world is like that, this is where you realize what VeVe has actually done and the true significance of that. But because all of this stuff has not been done yet, it's not as easy to see because a lot of people can't really wrap their head around how NFTs are really going to impact the world this substantially. Like how metaverses are going to impact the world this substantially. And also NFTs is going to impact metaverses like crazy. NFTs are the reason that metaverses can exist and have the potential that they actually have. Because the difference between Fortnite and building a world like that is who's going to waste their time in a Fortnite world. There's like what's actually, well, a lot of people waste their time in Fortnite world. But what I mean is that's not something that can be mass adopted by the whole world. The thing with metaverses is, like I said, it's so much money and so much potential in metaverses that it can really create more job opportunities and create more opportunity all around financially and just, it can create way more opportunities. It can create way more opportunities than even the real world or even the physical world. So when you're taking that into consideration, you're thinking about the real impact that this technology is actually going to have. Things like the comparisons to MySpace and stuff, it starts to make a hell of a lot less sense. And I think that once you really wrap your head around what VeVe is doing and the significance of it and how this is going to change the world, it's just it's not even really a fair debate. It's not it's a reason that I say Recur is not even in the conversation when it comes down to competition for VeVe. Everyone says, okay, VeVe Coca-Cola, nothing wrong with Recur being Pepsi. All Recur has managed to do is get a license, get a few licenses using the power of Gary Vee. Gary Vee is one of the known NFT people in the world. The difference between, it's just a huge difference here. VeVe secured a license during a time where Ripple was getting sued, during a time where people were saying Bitcoin is a scam. VeVe was securing Disney at that time. At the time where Recur is securing licenses, Gary Vee is known as NFT guru for only being in it. He's late to the party, by the way, but Gary Vee is seen as a guru, and then NFTs are exploding everywhere, so all companies want in. Literally, companies are looking for people to partner with, as opposed to back when VeVe was doing it, NFT companies was getting laughed out of the doors. Crypto companies getting laughed out of buildings. Now everybody wants it. So the fact that the one of the top NFT guys in the world can secure a few licenses, that's not really impressive. You're securing these licenses on the back of what VeVe has already built. And unlike MySpace and the Facebook comparison, what VeVe has done is historic. The way that VeVe got their licenses is historic, and the fact that they brought this stuff to these IPs to the blockchain, that means something. What MySpace did doesn't really mean anything. It was purely entertainment. And yes, VeVe is entertainment, but it's different. It's different. Literally, it's bringing entertainment onto the blockchain, and that connection, that link, that's what's way more powerful than anything that MySpace ever did. So. Yeah, that type of comparison doesn't really fit, and Recur hasn't done enough to even earn the spot of Pepsi. Just because people see a few licenses and just get super impressed by that. I'm not impressed because of the time periods that these licenses were obtained. Damn near anybody who with an NFT background could secure some decent IP right now. It's not, you're in the middle of an NFT boom. I'm not impressed if you're grabbing licenses. I'm just not. I'm sorry. You're in the middle of an NFT boom. What's impressive to me is grabbing a Disney license when everybody is against NFTs, crypto, and all of that. That's what's impressive to me. So it's just different levels to this for sure. All Recur has managed to do is bring out a little pass that's going up in value based on speculation. You haven't even seen an NFT. You don't know how valuable these things are going to be. What's the utility going to be? What's the use case? From what I hear, Recur doesn't even have a token. So how does this ecosystem for these NFTs actually function? What type of benefits are you going to get from buying these NFTs? Is it going in a metaverse? Are you going to actually build out a metaverse? What's the goal for your metaverse? Are you trying to model it off of Ready Player One now because you want to be VeVe? And does your NFTs even make sense in the context of a metaverse? Is this just going to be something that sits on a random desk? Because if you just have an NFT and the point of your NFT is for it to just sit somewhere and look pretty, you might as well just partner with other companies as opposed to actually building your own metaverse, because that's just not enough. It does not make sense. So it's there's a lot of things that people aren't questioning when it comes down to Recur. People are just jumping in because they want to get money somewhere just in case. That's the difference between me and a lot of investors. I do my research. I do my due diligence. People think that I'm just a VeVe head. I am a VeVe head because I actually do the research. I compare it to other projects. I dive in and I understand the selling points and why these projects are valuable, and then I compare that value to VeVe. You can't compare Recur to VeVe. And that's coming from someone who has actually done the work. So that's the thing. I think that this fake diversification that people like to try to say. I've said this so many times at this point, but being RC, investing in RC, investing in freaking Fanta, investing in all these different brands of pops and juice, and investing in Minute Maid, because you don't know which one of these is going to actually become Coca-Cola, that just means you're uneducated. That's not diversification. That's literally not diversification. That is gambling. You're gambling, and then people try to spin gambling as if it's diversification. No, it's not. It's not diversification at all. Diversification is investing in VeVe because you know you've done your research and you know what VeVe is going to become. Then investing in real estate. That's another investment. Then investing in gold. You're diversified at this point. Then investing in Bitcoin and investing in Ethereum. That is diversification. What people are trying to sell as diversification is a lack of research. You don't want to get off your ass and actually understand the value proposition of these projects. So you say, hey, let me just put money anywhere. I got it. Why not blow it? Why not do it just in case? It's only $300, and then you call that research, and you call that diversification. I call that a joke. Like, come on now. It's nothing wrong if you want to go. Like, listen. I got homies who spend all the time in the world at casinos and stuff like that. So if you're the type of person where you go to casinos to have fun and stuff like that, it is very much smarter to be out here gambling in the NFT space and gambling with these projects and stuff like that. It's very much smarter. But don't try to paint this as there's actually a comparison here. Call it how it is. You're like, I'm taking a gamble on it. If people just come out and call a spade, yo, I'm taking a gamble. I would have nothing to say. I would have nothing to say about it whatsoever. Like, cause then at least you keep it at 100. At least you know what you're doing and you're being honest about it. But people out here, I'm diversifying, trying to make it sound like you actually doing something. Like, bro, you're not diversifying. That's not diversification. That is gambling. So that's just my opinion. This is my thoughts. That's what you'll see on the channel. Let me know what you all think in the comment section down below, man. That's pretty much it. Be sure to drop that thumbs up, subscribe, turn on notifications so you stay updated. And yeah, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. Peace out, y'all.